Hi, welcome to week five's Queen of the Castle, celebrating creativity in small snatches. It's kind of a funny name, isn't it? I flipped my camera and I'm used to looking up in the corner here. The camera's down here, so I'm going to do my best to make sure that I see you, that I'm looking at you as we're doing this today. Well, this week's lesson is really powerful, and she talks about how it is so easy for us to get distracted. It is so easy for me to do that as well. It's easy for me to want to do those fun things, those things that I really enjoy doing. She mentions looking through recipe books of magazines. We also, in today's age, we've got all of that social media stuff, YouTube, TikTok, you name it. Lots of different ways that can take up those pieces of time that we can use for other things, or that we should be doing for other things. And I'm trying to remove the word need or should and saying want. I want to do those things. I don't enjoy doing dishes. I need to do dishes, but how about I want to do dishes? A little bit of a stretch for me, but hey, I will do them. I like to have clean dishes. I do. I like to eat off of a clean dish, so therefore there's a process there, right? Well, one of the things she talks about in her second paragraph is she says, perhaps instead I should take a closer look at my Creator and try to pattern my work habits after His. In Genesis 1, God imbued the entire creation process with order. What started as utter chaos, an earth that was formless and void, progressed to an earth that was divided into light and dark, waters below heaven and waters above, and division of dry land and of the seas. Once a basic order was in place, He created a multitude of plants, fish, birds, and animals. Throughout the entire process, God followed a logical, orderly progression. He didn't say, Kazam, and zap the whole earth into being at once. He took it step by step, introducing each element one at a time, providing the proper environment before adding plants, creatures, and people. And so when I think about order, I think, of course, about my plan for the week. And so one of the things that I do is I think about my week, those things that I want to do. I love being part of Bible studies, and I love being a part of different events. Right now I have Java with Jen on Tuesday. She's a wonderful woman in our church who leads just a group of women on Tuesdays for about an hour, and we visit and share something. She usually has something, that relates to our spiritual walk, and I love that. On Wednesdays, a dear friend of mine who is an amazing Irish dancer puts together something called Tea with Meldon. So we have tea or whatever you choose to drink in the morning, and she has different artists. She featured me one week, which I was very honored. So I loved that. So I was her guest speaker one week, and I just love that she does that. And then on Thursdays I have my Bible study fellowship. So I love to do those things, but I need to make sure that I am taking care of other things as well. So one thing I do, and I'm going to try and share this on the site, but I call it my weekly dump list. Okay, it is. It usually starts as a piece of paper, and I have created this form. I have it in Excel for me. I color code my week, and I'm going to tell you, it helps me tremendously. So what I call my brain dump, I could be trying to go to sleep at night and can't sleep, just thinking about all those things that are on my mind. And so it's nice if I have a piece of paper right next to my bed, and I will write down anything that's coming to my mind. And that could include, if I'm wanting to attend Bible study fellowship, I need to make sure that there's some other things in my life that are taken care of, that there's an order to it. If I only did all of that stuff all the time that I really loved doing, that I truly was passionate about, I may not get those little things done that really need to get done or should get done, that I should want to get done, not for my family and for myself. I mean, who loves paying bills? I'm sure some of you out there love it. But yeah, I'm like, yeah, whatever. But it's important, right? If we don't pay our bills, we don't have a roof over our head, we don't have electricity, we don't have all those other things that we need in our society today to thrive. So I do categorize mine. I'm a home care worker. I'm also a seamstress. So I do incorporate those types of things into my weekly plan, of course. This also is part of my weekly plan, as part of my dump list, which week I'm on, what I need to do, what if I'm baking, if I'm creating something, want to show you something, what am I going to pull together? I thought about how my calendar looked 10, 15 years ago versus today. And it is so much different. You can use, I love a physical calendar, but I do use a Google Calendar as well. And that's because I share my calendar with my family. So if I'm going to be gone, or if one of the ladies I work for has an appointment that I'm taking them to, then I make sure that that is in the calendar so my family is aware when I'm available or when I'm not available. But again, our life changes. It's not always the same. And I'm not a very good willow. I'm more of an oak. I don't like change. I like things to be the way they are. But the reality is, in our life, we have to bend and mold to the things that are coming at us, which includes different priorities in life. So 10, 15 years ago for me, my kids were in a private school. They did not have a bus, which meant 5 days a week I took them to school and from school. And there wasn't always someone that lived near me who would carpool with me. So I was at least going once a day. On top of that, there was a time when we only had one car. So we had to find a way to make that balance so that my husband could get to work, so that if we had errands to run, that could be taken care of. At one point, I had 3 kids in sports at the same time. Both my girls loved volleyball. My son loved soccer. So fall was a busy season for us. So we had to plan that. Thankfully, and prayerfully, the coaches were all kind of worked it out so that things didn't always overlap. So they did the best they could, but it was a challenge. We only had one gym, so that was easy, but you had to play soccer in daylight. We really couldn't do that, in the dark. It just didn't work right. We also add that to our life. We had weekly commitments. We had Awana. All of my children were in Scouts. My son was a Cub Scout, Boy Scout, Eagle Scout. My girls were in Girl Scouts starting out at the age of 5 and went all the way through their senior year of high school. And then my youngest just completed her Gold Award. So there was always that. Now today life is different. I mentioned it before, my children are grown. I have a granddaughter. I caregive, so I don't substitute teach anymore at the school. I caregive. Right now I just have the one client, which happens to be my mother-in-law. I was caregiving for 2 women. One of them was my 92-year-old grandmother, but she passed on January 2nd, and she's in heaven, and I'm so excited for her that she's no longer in pain. And so just wonderful. It was just such a blessing to have her here in my home for 5.5 months. I also have that sewing business in my home. So my life looks a whole lot different. I'm not driving kids to and from school. I can work from home, stay in my home days on end if I need to. So that's kind of exciting. There are so many things. So this was celebrating creativity in small snatches. Now, some people do embroidery, knit, crochet, things like that. I highly recommend having some sort of go bag. Now, remember when your kids were little, or maybe you still have them, and they have diaper bags, right? Well, I have my purse, but then I have a go bag, and that go bag has different things that I'm working on each day. And one of the things that I would often take with me would be a small project. So I might, between times of waiting for the kids or things like that, I might sneak in a phone call to someone I love, or just to catch up with someone quickly, let them know right ahead, hey, I'm waiting for my kids. You've been on my mind. Wanted to give you a quick phone call, see how you're doing, what's going on. Great. Maybe you can connect again after that. With those small projects, it could be crochet or knit. I carry notes with me now, writing thank you notes, catching up on birthday cards, or thinking of you cards. you know, if you have people in your church that you're praying for, people you're praying for, it's always nice that people are loving notes, and send them in the mail. Another thing I do is I batch errands. So if I know I have to pick my kids up at school at 3, I think about on my way there, I can mail my notes. Oh, I need to stop by and get gas real quick, whatever, because once they get out of school, they're probably just going to want to come home, relax, get some homework done, so on and so forth. So I would always batch my errands, and I would try to do that so that they weren't with me, because I'm telling you what, when you have extra people with you on those errands, it can be cumbersome and very, very frustrating. So those are just some things that I wanted to share with you about how I would encourage you to find those things that help you to be creative, to realize that even though today you may not be able to put together a quilt or have hours on end to put together an embroidered quilt even, that time may come. So work on it a square at a time. Put that project in your car so that when you're waiting for the kids to come out, you have time to do things like that. Work on those lists that help you gather your thoughts, the things that you desire to do, those things that you would love to show your love for others, and then apply it to a calendar so that you can get things done. And if you don't get those extra things done, that's okay. It's something that you might strive for. Well, if you can hear my cat and dog, they're wanting my attention, and so I'm going to refocus on that. Have a wonderful day. Enjoy this beautiful day, and I hope that you have gathered something fun or different or are reinvigorated to live for Christ and have fun doing it, and know that being a homemaker is one of the best blessings I've ever had in my life, and I pray it's the same for you as well. Blessings to you.
All right, I was able to share a picture, it looks like, of my weekly dump list. So here it is, nothing exciting. I do color code it. I'll highlight church in a blue highlighter, marketing, network projects. I put them in different highlighting colors, and that's for me more than anything. And then when I transfer it to my calendar, I usually highlight that into that color as well, coordinating color. You'll notice that my week starts on Monday and ends on Sunday on this list. You can, of course, do it however it works for you, or you don't even have to have it dated. But this is how I choose to do it, because I write in all of my appointments or church things, gatherings, things that I might have. So under church, I might actually have my Sunday school. I do a Zoom children's Sunday school. I'll put that on there. I also edit the videos for our children's ministry that go up for our children to watch throughout the week, or mailings, things of that nature. So all that kind of stuff gets put in there. Marketing, network, and projects, that's for my business. So if you don't have a business, you can do lots of other things on there. Maybe there's something that you do specifically for your children's school, or volunteer type things for different things. It's totally up to you. And on the right side, you'll see I have a home care worker. That's because I'm a home care worker. I caregive for my mother-in-law. And with my grandmother passing, I still have responsibilities in regards to her estate. So that's where I write those types of things. You know, if I need to call Social Security, or I need to schedule an appointment, or I need to take her to an appointment, etc. That stuff gets written there. And the personal, you'll see that's the biggest category. That, of course, is my favorite category. That's when I do things for my family and myself, of course. And that would be, it does include cleaning and laundry. But then on top of that, it includes special time with maybe each of my children, or one child, or etc. It might also include a project I'm doing specific for them. So that is totally up to you, how you want to create your weekly dump list if you want to. You don't have to, but this is how I choose to work my week. Have a wonderful day.